tujitoe wenyewe, tusimame pamoja kulinda uhuru na umoja wetu. Enyi bwana na binti wa Afrika, mwili wa jua, mwili wa anga, tuifanye Afrika mti wa uzima. Tuungane sote tuimbe pamoja, kuenzi shikamano hatima yetu. Tujitoe wenyewe kupambana pamoja, uhuru na umoja vitawale. Enyi bwana na binti wa Afrika, mwili wa jua, mwili wa anga, tuifanye Afrika mti wa uzima. Tuungane sote na tujibidishe kutoa kilicho bora kwa Afrika, chimbuko la wanadamu, chemchemi ya utamaduni, tumaini letu wakati wa mafarakano. Enyi bwana na binti wa Afrika, mwili wa jua, mwili wa anga, tuifanye Afrika mti wa uzima.
How are you, our viewers? Today, a lovely Sunday. We meet again on another session on Hot Eyes Show. Today, we are going to discuss an interesting topic: feminism and broke guy shaming in heterosexual relations. Today in the studio, I have a young lady. And before we go any further, I would actually encourage you, our viewers, to subscribe to us on YouTube and Facebook at Humanist TV Africa, so that you won't miss any show which is being premiered on our TV station. We have a lot of shows. You can decide to write to us on the email written on the screen or WhatsApp us. We have a lot of shows. Yes, this What I Show, we normally have it on Sunday, but throughout the week, we have different shows from different panelists from our different studios in different countries. Today, I want to introduce the young lady, but as usual, your host, Tawia Chinama, normally wants the people to introduce themselves the best way they want to be known. Deborah, tell the viewers the best way you want to be known.
Okay, hello viewers. My name is Deborah Mayasi, and I'm a student at Catholic University, and I'm also a gender activist. So technically, I'm a feminist.
All right, thank you. Yeah, she mentioned that she's at the Catholic University. Interestingly, at some point, Deborah was my student. But anyway, today we are meeting not as a lecturer and a student. We are meeting as people who are discussing a topic. And I hope people are going to enjoy. And maybe we would want to start by finding, Deborah, what do you mean when you talk of feminism? What is actually feminism? Or probably, what is actually gender activism? Because you seem to run away from the word feminism. You say you're a gender activist. And I know that you're also a development practitioner since you're into development studies. What is feminism to you?
Okay, to me, feminism is something which we actually advocate for gender equality. So I think that's feminism. To me, I think to me, it's the advocacy of gender equality.
All right. Is it possible to have gender equality?
Well, yeah. It is possible
Wow.
to have gender equality.
Oh, I doubt, because what I know, even in a million years to come, you ladies will be still carrying pregnancy, and we men will never carry pregnancy. So, I'm,
Well, I think it's
maybe.
possible for us to have gender equality here because gender is something which is socially constructed. And I think if we redo our social construction on the issue of gender, I think it's possible for us to have gender equality.
Oh, at some point, I thought maybe it's better to say gender complementarity, where probably you acknowledge that men and women we are actually different. So we have to complement each other than to compete, because obviously, yeah, it's very difficult. I do understand the struggles for gender equality, and at some point, I claimed to be a feminist myself, but later on, I said no. Probably I was wrong. But, but I think maybe, yes, it's possible that men and women can complement each other because they have different characteristics, they have different capabilities. Then, while we are talking of gender equality, there is the issue of relationship. Young people are into relationships, even older people are into relationships. In those relationships, maybe it is because of the patriarchal system. Uh, there is a new phenomenon where we have what we call broke guy shaming, where we say majority of ladies, no matter how broke they are, they will never blame themselves, but they would think that they're dating a wrong guy. Don't you think broke guy shaming is against the struggles of feminism or the struggles of gender activism?
Well, this is tough, I must say. But honestly, to us ladies, we actually do not broke guys. We actually do not shame the broke guys. What we do sometimes is simply because we're actually living in a patriarchal society, and the thing is, we we were meant to believe that men are the providers. So when we say the guy who's not actually able to provide for me, actually I might just say no, this guy probably is just broke and he's not capable of doing something for me. So it's because of the patriarchal society, and I just hope that this fades away. And I need to make sure that we are supposed to be equal, and this broke thing shaming is not there, but it's just we were made to believe that men are the providers. So it's not uh broke guy shaming, but it's something which we were made to believe that men are the providers. So if you see a guy who's not able to provide, he's not a man. So I think you get what I'm saying.
But you are saying it's not there, but I'm sure myself as a man, I have seen it. You as a lady, I'm sure there are so many times you expect your man to provide a lot of things. I doubt if you can go out with your boyfriend and you paid all the bills. Then afterwards, maybe your boyfriend says, you see, Deborah, I'm struggling to pay my bills. Then you say, don't worry, I will cover it. Then later on, you hear probably your boyfriend saying, I don't have the time, I want to call my mother. Then say, don't worry, I will pay. Yeah, I know there are ladies like that, but very, very few. Very, very few. Because I think guys, they tend to lie. They end up lying sometimes just to cover up because they know the consequences of being broke, or they know the consequences of failure to meet the expenses or the needs of your girl. So if you say broke guy shaming someone, it's not there. I tend not to agree with you because it's something which is there. And it's something which is actually affecting the mental health of many. If you see those young people who normally commit suicide after heartbreak. You know what makes those guys to commit suicide? If you would put yourself into their shoes, is that they probably invested in a particular, they probably sacrificed a lot. They probably told their mothers that I don't have money. When they have money, probably to give them. Then they would find that Deborah is playing games with them. And they can't. You see how the mental health of men are being affected. It's like the same. We men were not allowed to cry. Or some of us we can cry when we feel that we want to cry, even because of ladies we can cry. But it's somehow which is not expected for us men. You ladies, you create super beings in us that we are beyond certain problems. So as a gender activist, how do we deal with all those issues? Because here
Okay,
we
like I
want to
said,
save men.
okay, like what I said before. Actually, we need to look at the roots first. The roots of these things, of especially for gender inequality. Yeah, and we also need to look at the like the way as like the way children actually socialize, because growing up we ladies were actually told that you guys are the providers, and we are, you know, we are also like we are these type of people that are supposed to sway your incomes, and you know. So I think that the first thing that we need to do to avoid this broke guy shaming thing, which is age, is there. Is supposed to first catch the aspect of socialization. I think we need to socialize our kids that they're all equal, and also to teach them that ladies can also provide us. So yeah, because
Yeah,
we say that.
but it's
Sorry,
very
you can
difficult
say.
to teach ladies that they can be produced, they can be providers too. Yes, on the show here we can talk of ladies as providers, of course. But when you come to the ground, it's impossible. If you share with your friends that I've just paid the bills for my boyfriend, well, I just sent the airtime to my boyfriend. Definitely, fellow ladies will say, no, you you are foolish. They will say so. Well, it is not expected. And cultural things they can't change overnight. They can't change overnight, and it's very difficult. So, and what I've seen also with feminism, there's also you young people. I don't know if you have reached that level. There's commercialization of gender activism. You've been working with a number of organizations. I think you have seen how people are making money out of advocacy, but not caring for the result, not caring for the impact of their activism. They care about the money, they care about the grant, and big organizations which are well established. Probably they only take you young ladies, probably as interns or as people who are just in the audience, but your voice doesn't matter. As a
Exactly.
young activist, what do you think can be done to try not to commercialize feminism? Because commercializing feminism would make sure that we have ladies who are probably bashing men. It's not that I'm trying to defend men, but men are victims of patriarchy too. You should know that they're victims of patriarchy too. And there is too much insistence on empowering ladies. It seems we are empowering ladies while we are disempowering men. I normally say a gender activist should not wish to be to should not wish to see her boyfriend paying lobola. Because why? Lobola is a transaction which is negotiated between two men. The father of Deborah is saying to Tawia, listen, I have this product, how much do you have to offer? So in other words, you are being surrendered to me. You are being changed the master from one master to another. So, both I don't think your activism as gender activist will make sense if you are not changing cultural structure such as the paying of lobola, whatsoever, all those things. Or let me say, what's your take on the issue of lobola?
Okay, my take on the issue of lobola. I think the issue of lobola is just a token of appreciation. Because like on the issue in the household, but like a man expects a lady to do some roles, right? Like cleaning, cooking for him, emotional support, providing things that a lady is expected to do, right? So I think there's a token of appreciation from a man to say that thank you for raising this lady who's going to take care of me. You see, but
All
if there
right.
is
So,
gender equality in like in the house, for example, if a guy if you both are equal, probably the guy is washing the dishes, you are he's also providing emotional support to the kids. I don't think this lobola issue will hit up.
but listen,
But
now
then
you expect us guys to do the dishes, to do the laundry, to change the naps. But when I was paying lobola, you said it is an appreciation that you are going to be doing those things. So, which
no,
means I've paid for nothing.
no, we're actually not getting me. I'm just saying, I'm trying to say this token of appreciation is because I, as a lady, I'm actually doing the chores for you. So you're actually appreciating the works that my family did, right? So if these things were not on the ground, like me doing the dishes, and if we are both equal in the family, I think this Ebola issue wouldn't have been considered because we would consider ourselves as equal. That's what I'm trying to say. But then if you guys expect us to be child bearers, to be housewives, it, there's nothing much my family could expect from you guys unless for Lobola.
Yeah, because the problem, in my own definition of the word appreciation is not charged. You give out of your own will what you can afford. But this appreciation in Lobola is charged. It's actually charged, and people are actually spending thousands. If I have not with this thing of Lobola's party and what which came, people pressure. We are living in a capitalistic world where everything can easily commercialize. I don't know. I don't know if you're a Marxist, because a number of feminists are somehow Marxist. They somehow hate capitalism. So almost everything is being commercialized. People are trying to make money in everything, even things which are not supposed to be used for business. People are trying by all means to commercialize. For example, you pick even a list when you go for Lobola. A list, probably long ago, it was like just simple. They used to look at how much our son-in-law can afford. If the son-in-law can't afford, say something, probably there was the issues of, I think we are all Botswana. There was the issue of kutema ugariri, which means a man can work for a wife, which was somehow. So traditionally, it can be said it was a token of appreciation, but nowadays it is not a token of appreciation. And with how divorces are rising nowadays, you can pay Lobola today, the next month you are processing divorce papers. So
That's actually
it's, it's a challenging thing. So it's a challenging thing to keep on saying it's appreciation or some sort. So I'm trying to position all these things in the struggles of feminism. I'm trying to expose some of the hypocrites. You have people who are gender activists. Yeah, someone in Uganda is saying, "Well done, Team HTS TV. Thanks for educating us." I'm trying to show how the hypocrisy of people, sometimes they acknowledge patriarchy when it benefits them, then they attack it when it doesn't benefit them. For example, our topic is around broke guy shaming. For example, if a broke guy can be told you're not prepared to get married to me, if you don't have money, I better find a better guy because if you can't provide when you're still dating, what more when we are married? Because ladies somehow some ladies they want to be housewives and they want also to claim that they're equal to men. It's fine if you claim to be equal, then you do what shows that you are equal. You know that statement of saying, what are you bringing to the table? And you let this. We hear you joking, saying, I might actually even sell the table because I'm not going to bring anything on the table.
Yeah. So you know
It's a
what?
challenge. Hmm.
Honestly, I think these girls there that are broke, that are shaming the broke guys, probably are those types of girls who actually solely depend on men. That's what I think. And yeah,
That is a question. Your question, Deborah. You call of what are you talking of appreciation? A man gives to thank the woman's family for raising you. However, the man was also raised by his own family, and he also puts in his share of work in the family. Doesn't the man's family also deserve lobola from the woman's family?
okay. I think there's this shit saying in our Shona culture, which says that inini ndinengenda mutorwa kumba kwedu. Then I actually join the family, my husband's family, which means I belong to my husband's family. So whichever development that I make is actually going to benefit my husband's family. So I think Murora benefits the husband's family, not my family, my maternal family.
Or in other words, you want the people of your family to feel comfortable because the son-in-law left something. There's that joke where they say it is a Shona joke. Let me say it, then I will translate it for those who don't understand the Shona. Kwanzi kune vamwe vanhu vaifunga kuti vakakosha asi vana baba vavo vakazovachinjanisa nemombe. In Shona we can say there are some people who thought they are important but their fathers exchanged them with cows. So you're saying they have to get cows to replace you in their family.
No, it's just a token of appreciation because remember when I'm going to your family, right? To the men's family. The men's family is actually going to benefit children, which my family is not going to benefit. We can see that the children can use their father's surname, not my surname. So actually it's a benefit for you guys, not for me. If my daughter is going to be married, the money that is used to marry her is the most of the money is going to your father's family. So I actually think it's a win-win situation.
I don't think it's a win-win situation. You are saying the family of a man is benefiting because they are going to take care of your kids. Because they are going to have kids, and those kids are yours. You want to be paid for taking care of your kids.
Sorry?
You are getting married to the men's family. Then you say the men's family has to appreciate your family because they are going to benefit the men's family by taking care of the kids. The kids they are going to bear in wherever that side. Yes, they will bear the surname of their father, the totem of their father, that culture. But scientifically speaking, if you check their DNA, they have a lot in common with you too. They are your kids too. And nowadays, some people can decide to give their children the surname of their mother. It's not like it was in the traditional way. It is a must that you should get the surname of your father. Nowadays, you can get the surname of your mother. And nowadays, it's not that if I marry you, Deborah, today, it's not that you go to my family. I can marry you. We decide to stay somewhere else in another new place where we start our new life, and both relatives from the wife side and from the men side will be visiting you. So it's not you moving away from your family. And because of the digital age, you're not actually moving from your family. You still remain connected with your family. You still remain in the WhatsApp groups of your family. You still remain in contact with your mother. You still remain in contact with your father. So in other words, you are still with your family. Long ago, we used to know that probably if you are if you are from one province, then you are married to another province, you might only see your family after probably 3 years or so. Nowadays, you can be speaking to your mother every day. You can be speaking to your father every day. You can be speaking to your siblings every day. So, in other words, you are still in your family. And probably most of the time, I've seen that the relatives of the wife visit the family more than the relatives of the man. And the relatives of the wife, they feel at home than the relatives of the man. There's that joke of saying, "Ndaguta unge hama yomukadzi." I'm satisfied like the relative of a wife because those ones can do whatever they want in the house without being restrained. But the relatives of the man, surely they will be restrained.
But you know what? Actually, let me just give an example. Let me say me. Well, let's say that I'm actually getting married, right? Like majority of the money is actually going to my father's side. You get it?
Mm.
And my mother is only going to get the mafuki zadumbu, sutu ya mai, and you know those things. Then so what I think is it's a win-win situation because actually my mom got married and her family benefited, right? And I'm going to get married. My father's family is the family which is going to benefit more, and my mother is only going to get the mafuki zadumbu money and the
All right.
grocery money.
Let us go deeper with this thing. Which gender benefits more than the other?
I think the male gender actually benefits more.
So as gender activists should be advocating against it because the male gender is getting everything. You are being treated as cattle. You are being treated as product.
Exactly. Actually, we are actually being treated as products. I agree.
You agree that you are product, but
Yes,
you still defend
we are
Lobola.
being treated as products because sometimes we can see like in the family we can see actually we are seen as sex machines in marriage, and then we are not supposed to decide how many kids we want. You guys you actually decide. You'll be like, no, I want 2 kids, and I'll be like, no, I want one, and you'll be like, no, no zinza, so I want 2 kids. So it's not fair for us because we are not giving us the flow to decide and also to exercise our rights as women.
Oh, I see. But on the issue of saying men are the ones who decide how many kids they want to have, maybe they can decide if they can move around uh, impregnating a number of ladies. But I think with one particular lady, I think if a lady wants to have 2 kids, I don't think you can force her to have five. There is a lot
You
of
can.
contraception they can use.
Uh, I think you very well know that there are some organizations, let me just say some religious organizations that actually do not permit ladies to take like contracts, right?
Mhm.
So it's not our decision. Like you hear me like, why did you take the plan B? Like why are you on contraceptives? Why did you take the Jadel? And this shows that we actually not given the floor to decide how many kids we want. This is the evidence, especially some organ, like some denominations that doesn't allow women to take this contraceptive.
Oh, so in other words, you're saying religion is actually helping to oppress women in somehow, because
Yeah,
I-
exactly,
yeah,
exactly.
all the religions or churches I ever visited, I observed one thing about those religions and churches. If I look at the overall populace, I would find that majority of people in that particular church or particular religion, they are women. But if I go further to look at their leadership structure, I would find in their leadership structure, you would find more than 70% of the people are men, or even 100%. But you would find probably a church with, let us say, with the 5,000 congregants. On those 5,000, you might find that probably 1.5 of them are men and 3.5 are women. But when you go to leadership, probably leadership has 100 people. You would find probably there are only 3 women in the leadership. And they are not in any position where they can influence decision making. So you actually brought in another interesting issue. So as feminists, are you supposed to be religious? I know you are a very religious led. You like dancing at church and you enjoy. You feel like
Yeah, actually, religion is the opium of the masses, I can say. And actually, religion is also playing a role in oppressing women, because you find out sometimes women doesn't even hold higher positions in churches. Men are the pastors, the apostles, and we women are actually are usually the secretaries sometimes. We are usually the secretaries. So I think, okay, as a feminist, well, I'm a religious person, I agree, but sometimes you see that what is happening in these in these religion sectors is actually wrong, because like you had said, I think, let me say 30% of the leaders in church are women, and then the 70% are men. It's because of the patriarchal society, because we were made to believe that men are superior and we are inferior. So
yeah, but
that's how we actually handled it.
Hi, Deborah, you seem to agree that Lobola infringes on the rights of women, yet you are a feminist and gender activist. Seems want to Lobola to stay again. You agree that religion infringes on the rights of women, yet you are very religious. Would I be right to say that you don't know what you want? He's
Okay,
asking.
okay, let me just state it like this. On the Lobola issue, I actually do not want the Lobola thing to stay. Honestly, I don't want. But because of some certain issues, sometimes you guys we are not ready to accept that we are equal. We guys we are not ready to accept that. And then me being a religious person, actually I grew up from a religious what from a religious family, and sometimes you see that some things are wrong. So I'm actually I want to change some certain aspects. For example, probably when I'm in church, I want to change the structures. Maybe let women be on the top and actually advocating for their rights in church. So me being a religious person doesn't mean I actually um want religion to oppress women. I also want to change the the aspect of the oppressions.
All right. Can and Viola Nyamiala, I think it's Uganda again. Hey, Uganda loves us. It's a great show, but this lady supports Lobola. Why do you support bride wealth that puts a price tag on women? In other words, I think
Well, actually,
Viola is trying to say women are priceless. And I think
well, okay.
I will share the love song of Viola. Viola, yes, she has a love song. I will share that song. It's good.
Well, Viola, I'm not actually supporting Lobola. What I stated, like, Tawia had stated that we are actually sold. We are a deal between two men. So what I was actually trying to say to him, according to our culture, Lobola is a token of appreciation. I'm not in support of Lobola. I'm actually not in support of Lobola. But if we change some certain aspects of the inequality, if we also want, if I actually would sorry, what I would want on this Lobola issue is, I'm not actually supporting it. The thing is, um if we are all equal, we both my husband and I are all equal, actually I wouldn't consider Lobola. But if you want me to do some certain things for you, probably washing for you, being a machine for you, probably I'll just consider Lobola. But if there is the certain aspect of equality in our marriage, I wouldn't recommend Lobola.
Yeah, but Deborah, I'm sure you are in good books with your father. Would you convince your father that our father, I don't want my man to pay a lobola. Yeah, just let him. I'm sure most of the time you girls, you are good friends of your father. You are very good friends of your father. Have you ever thought of convincing your father to go that route?
Well, yeah, yes. Because you can see that in our country here in Zimbabwe, Lobola is no longer a mandate. So if this guy refuses, he's actually going against the law. Because I don't want my husband to pay Lobola for me because I want us to be equal.
Hmm.
But if this guy refuses, he's actually going against the law, and he's also actually going against my rights as a person and
But
also as a woman.
you say in Zimbabwe, lobola is no longer optional, is it?
Yes.
You can decide to pay it or not. That is what the law says. But I think law is not in tandem with the local culture. The problem, I think, is the as people from African countries, the good part. That's why I wanted such thing like the national anthem, the African Union national anthem we had at the start, and we are going to have it. The problem, we copy and paste certain laws from probably the Western world or probably from Asia. Those things, I think they make sense there in the Western world, but I don't think it makes sense here because sometimes, despite the fact that yes, let us say Lobola is bad, but I think I tend to agree with you a bit, but not whole 100%. But sometimes Lobola, I think, is meant to join two families. So probably when you are joining two families, you need to come together. You need to do some activities. Unfortunately, people they charge much, but I think the event will be a ceremony to join the two families because they are now related because another person from this family and another one from this family are going to be together. So you are going to be working together. You are now related. So you are somehow celebrating this new unity. So if the government says that lobola is no longer optional, yeah, it's following the Western way where I can get married to a person merely by giving him or her a ring, which I think doesn't make sense here. Here. So I think maybe these laws should be in tandem with our local culture. And probably we should strive to change the culture. We should strive to change the status quo before we think of taking those laws. Probably we think they're progressive. And I think also maybe my advice also is to try to do what they call that there are so many theories of changes to try to change the system from within. For example, as feminists, I think you should have the knowledge of the local people. All feminists should actually do anthropology so that they can understand all the activities which they think are oppressing women, so that they can know how best to change them. Because you can't change what you don't understand. Because if you don't understand a particular thing, you can't change it. For example, myself, despite myself, I'm non-religious. But if you look at all my publications, I have a publication which was published in France 3 days ago. If you look all my publications, you'd find that I publish on religion and human rights. Why? I want to study religion so that I know how it affects human life and I know how I can engage those people to change. So I'm just giving an example. And I think you would agree with me on the impact of religion. But if do you allow me to label you as a drug addict because you actually acknowledged that you agreed with the Karl Marx that religion is the opium and you are gladly taking the opium. So can we say you are an addict? In this case, you are taking the opium. Religion is the opium. Can are you a happily drug addict?
No. Okay, like on the aspect of saying we're actually taking the Western culture on this issue of the like the lobola not being optional. Well, I think we actually firstly culture is actually a barrier to feminism, honestly speaking. So what we need to do sometimes is also to eradicate some aspects of on culture so as to move further on this feminism aspect. Because you find out sometimes culture is actually something which is actually dragging us feminists from attaining our 50-50 goal, right? Because of this lobola thing. Because as a feminist, you'd hear that, like you'd hear some feminists saying, I want to get married, but they're actually claiming that they're actually feminist and they want 50-50, they want equality. So in order for us to move further, we actually need to eradicate some certain aspects on culture, especially the issue on lobola. I think you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, you you seem to defend the Western way of doing things again. And yeah, I am somehow a Pan-Africanist. I have nothing against the foreign culture. I have nothing against it. But I think if you take a plant from a
I need to this down.
hello,
Hello?
all right. I was saying if you take a particular type of soil, a plant from a particular type of soil, you put in another soil, you might find that the plant might not actually do well. I think that is what is being done. When I said I use the concept of copy and paste, why? Why can't you actually come up with the laws which speaks to the reformation of your local culture? Because then it can just change. Listen, when two people are married according to their Zimbabwean culture, if I say Zimbabwean culture is too general, let's say according to the Shona culture, particularly probably the Karanga culture where I come from, there are a lot of things you do together. When you become pregnant, there's a process called kusungira, where when you are 2 months towards the giving birth, you have to be taken to your parents, stay with your parents, give birth well with your parents. For the first time, you should give birth well with your parents. So if you want to follow the law of the country and say lobola is optional, then you don't do it, which means you are crossing laws with your in-laws. So your in-laws will say, all right, whenever you want to do something, deal with the government, don't deal with us. Deal with the court, don't deal with us. So I think there is
Well,
confusion when it comes to our laws.
I think the only thing that actually hinders development sometimes is being ignorant and also being hard-headed. Because even as a person, if I decide if that I don't want to get married, I don't want lobola, my parents and my family are supposed to be with me. You get it? Because I know what I want in that marriage. I want equality. I don't want to be expressed or oppressed in that marriage. So they're actually supposed to be with me and also support my decision. Because
All right.
sometimes you need to be in with the new and then out with the old.
But anyway, so you have to be a rebel here, because there's no way your family would actually accept that. You told me that the men rules this earth, because they're the ones who decide. So if you can decide to say no and they say yes, so your no will fall and you follow their yes. That is a reality we cannot run away from. That despite the fact that patriarchy is actually not good for many too. But so many times I think many take the day. So as a gender activist, um, we are going towards ending our show. Are we still together, Deborah? Hello? All right. I wanted Deborah to give us here advice, especially towards the issue of, yeah, all right. Ndanga ndisiri kukuona. Are you still there? I wanted you to give advice to the people of your age. You are Ama 2Ks. You Ama 2Ks. You are giving Adam's gender hard time. They are hustling day and night, 24/7, trying to please you. Because if they don't do that, you mock them, you do whatever, what we call broke guy shaming. So tell your friend, should they continue with broke guy shaming or should they not continue? Should they continue to tell their guys that they're stingy or should they work for themselves? What are you telling them? Is it a good thing to do broke guy shaming or is it a bad thing? So I think in the next 5 minutes, you can just say something around that. I will let you be. Then maybe we can engage here, then you might also say your final words afterwards. Then we close the show. It's over to you now. Let me recline and take a seat.
Okay. What I would want to tell my fellow Ama 2K is that if a guy feels like he's a man in a relationship and he actually feels that he's got more power and he feels like he's superior, I think it's good to shame him if he's broke, because he's supposed to if he feels like he's if he feels like he's the man and he feels like he's actually the head of the family while he is broke, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense if he feels like it. But if you have a guy who actually respects you and who actually wants to be with you, regardless of him being the head of the family, of him being superior, I think you shouldn't pressurize him and you shouldn't shame him about him being broke. But if that person is very resistant to change it and is very resistant to equality, I think it deserves to be shamed if that person is broke.
Oh, I see. Someone seems to be on your side at least. At least someone is on your side. Say, Lobola is an end of research. That is why the fee is charged. it's a way of showing respect. Kuti, the person is Shona is the way of respect of showing kuti. That's the Shona word. You acknowledge all the efforts the parents indulged in her to be who she is. But I think also the man, they were doing the same. But I don't know why it's supposed to be for the lady. Hey, Blaze both.
Well, actually,
I think Blaze boat was bribed by Deborah.
no,
Not the person, I'm sure.
no.
All right.
Oh,
In Shona, Deborah said, Pamberne bro guy shaming. Said we have to go on bro guy shaming because if a person wants to be head of the family, why can't he provide? Is it what you said, or
exactly,
I'm quoting you?
exactly. If the person wants to be superior and wants to be like, and if the person actually supports patriarchy, why is he broke? He needs to be the provider.
Oh,
But if the
so in
person is actually, if the person wants us to be equal, actually, I wouldn't mind spoiling that person, helping him. But if that person wants to superior, well, I think he deserves to be shamed when he's broke, if he's broke.
wow, really? In other, you say
Yes,
men should subscribe to the fact that they should be on top. They can't just claim that we rule this without providing. In other words, they are saying they have to.
exactly.
I think next time these shows we must have probably three people in the studio. Someone representing ladies, another one representing men. Then obviously myself, I'm objective. I think you agree. Do you agree that I'm objective, or I'm defending Adam's gender a lot?
Well, we are actually defending Adam's gender, I see.
No, I'm also defending Eve's gender.
Well, no, we are actually defending Adam's gender. Because, like, so there's this, let me just give you an example. There's this guy who is, in fact, he's actually broke, and he's dating this other friend of mine. And he'd be like, "Oh, you're my girl. You need to come, Pumba. Then you do the chores for me. You need to wash tira. You need to do this. You need to be submissive." Well, a person can be submissive to the person that who's not even providing. So, yeah, I think there's some, if you are a person who actually supports patriarchy and you are broke, you actually deserve all the shaming you deserve.
Oh, in other words, they're saying your loyalty has to be bought, you ladies. You have to pay for you to be loyal.
Yes.
Oh, you are talking of saying your friend's boyfriend will say, "Come home, do some chores for me," and what. And I'm sure you ladies, when you are brought home by a guy, you expect the guy to pay you something. So I wonder what's the difference between a girl I'm dating who wants to be paid and a commercial sex worker.
Well,
Oh,
it's not like it's
we
not like
don't
I'll
want
be
to
dif-
pay
I
for sex.
I'll be okay. It's not like I would want to be paid right there. Like, if I do the chores for you, you're supposed to pay me. But sometimes, as a man who supports patriarchy, you're supposed to be the provider of the family. So you need to
What
take
about,
care of your girl and cater for your needs.
in other words, you just personalize your commercial sex worker when you do that? Can we say that a person commercialized one the sexual worker and is paying that commercial sex worker is different from that one you can get from the street where you can say, all right, how much do you charge? Oh, charge this. All right, yes, the man. Let's do what you. I, I but this one, it's like I actually personalize because I have to pay for the service.
Well, actually, according to patriarchy, yes, because um, would consider me as your gadget, as your property. So yeah, if you feel like you want to be a patriarchal person, you need to provide for your lady. And don't complain with lady vanoda mari. Why is you guys you want to be respected, you want I can't respect kakana pasina mari background, you see.
Oh,
But then if you want equality, then no, we are in the same book and with that.
yeah. The way you are supporting bro guy shaming, it has implication that both patriarchal culture, when it comes to sexual relations, patriarchal culture says ladies cannot give consent clearly. Sometimes in cases of rape, it's very difficult because in patriarchal society, we believe that there is no lady who can just give consent. If I say, hey, Deborah, can you come to my house? The fact that you have come is treated as a consent, according to locally here in Zimbabwe. It's treated as a consent. So can we treat it as a consent too?
No.
Why not? I'm paying for the loyalty. And you said if I support patriarch, I support patriarch, and patriarch tells me that if you come, that's consent.
Well, coming like consent in terms of sexual activity, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, probably I might just come to the corner and just chilling, and not actually saying, well, I'm actually open for you.
Mm.
So you have to ask me first. Sometimes you have to ask.
Sometimes, what about other time?
Sorry?
You said sometimes you have to ask, and it implies that sometimes you don't have to ask.
No, well, okay. You need to ask if your person wants that. You need to ask first. Are you really
What
open?
about if you say no? What about if you say no after I've actually sponsored your trip to and fro and maybe probably bought some goodies? Of course, I've bought loyalty, and you are now my person. You should be loyal. If I say sleep with the stomach, you have to sleep with the stomach. If I say jump, you have to jump, isn't it? Because I bought you, you said you have to buy loyalty.
Well, in that case, uh, maybe the lady will go like as a winner because yeah, no, let me just spend my money without retaining my favors. So I actually think to see if, like, as a lady, if you want your boyfriend to be the provider, you want him to do everything for you. Actually, it shows that you are actually his property, and you need to do uh whatever he says. But then, if I a lady, like I am, a feminist, um, if you have a guy, we are not supposed to expect much from them. You guys are supposed to be equal and need to help each other. But then if you're a guy who is very patriarchal, please don't complain about girls squandering all your wealth and girls wanting money. Don't complain because you need to buy that.
Oh, so for you don't care about the man from Adam's gender. I'm sure people will
Like
flock behind
since you
that.
guys actually do not care about our products that we supply you with, so we actually do not
People flock my inbox today saying, can we give us that lady who doesn't care about our man, I'm sure.
well, actually, I don't care about Adam's gender money because I believe that actually I
You
also
can
need to
actually
work
give them
hard.
money. Eh?
Sorry.
You can actually give them some money when they're struggling.
Yes, I can actually give them some money if they're struggling. If these guys are not patriarchal.
Your boyfriend is very lucky, I'm sure.
Yes, You're the lucky man, I must say.
The luckiest man on earth.
Yes.
Deborah, your final words. It was my pleasure to be with you on this show. I'm sure people will enjoy it because some were watching live and some will be watching it as we go on. And I'm sure you'll be sharing it. It is actually live on your Facebook, live on my Facebook, live on Humanist TV Africa Facebook, live on YouTube. And that is, and if the people they can share it so people can watch it. Yes. So you are actually talking to the whole world. And I think you saw some people in the East Africa were talking about it and doing other things. And I promised you to that Viola, that lady, she's singing and she has a good love song. It is called From Kampala to Nairobi. I forgot. A good love song. I will share the song with you. I'm sure I will share the song with you because it is our song. It was our song when the TV. It is our song when the TV. And our team leader, Comrade Kato Mukasa, who won't beat me, won't sue me. Probably is watching, I'm sure. And also, we have to thank our producer behind the scenes. We are singing together. In it, you, me, and yourself, we are singing. But there is a producer behind us, our producer, Dennis Bongole, in Uganda. Thank you very much. And I know you are working very hard. You are very unlucky. You can't be seen by people. And I'll take all the credit. And so, Deborah, your final words before we close the show.
My final word.
Before we close the show, just a break. Around bro guy shaming in heterosexual relationships. We didn't talk of homosexual relationships today. I know they are there, and it has been an issue when the Catholic Church recently produced its document called Fiducia Supplicans, which were around that. But today we are not talking about the same-sex relationship. We're talking about heterosexual relationships.
Okay. Hello? Hello?
Tuungane sote na tushereke pamoja ushindi kwa ukombozi wetu. Tujitoe wenyewe, tusimame pamoja kulinda uhuru na umoja wetu. Enyi Bwana na binti wa Afrika, mwili wa jua, mwili wa anga, tuifanye Afrika mti wa uzima. Tuungane sote, tuimbe pamoja, kuenzi shikamano hatima yetu. Tujitoe wenyewe kupambana pamoja, uhuru na umoja vitawale. Enyi Bwana na binti wa Afrika, mwili wa jua, mwili wa anga, tuifanye Afrika mti wa uzima. Tuungane sote na tujibidishe damu chemchem ya utamaduni.